The other thing is, and this is one you may not want to comment on, we're going back to SC football, because you may not want to jinx yourself. I know you're not superstitious, but I read a thing the other day about the top SEC quarterbacks this year, coming in this season. And number one was LaNorris Sellers. They had him as the best.
So I'm going to surprise you, and I am going to comment.
Oh, wow.
Some of the things that I am hearing, and let me say this first. We're going to move Arch over to the side. And the reason I'm going to move him over to the side is because, number one, again, he does not have a full year as starting quarterback under his belt yet. But then number two, and possibly more important than number one, it is not in his demonstrated family history to leave early. Eli graduated. Peyton graduated. Grandpa Arch graduated before they went on to careers in the NFL. So I don't think that young Arch is going to suddenly change the way that family views education and getting that degree. They value that.
And commitment.
And commitment to the program that they've signed on with. So I don't think that's going to change. So because of that, I'm going to put Arch over to the side because I don't want anybody coming back and going, Arch Manning. Yeah. Based on what else is out there starting in the SEC this coming year, I do believe that LaNorris Sellers poses the greatest upside of any other SEC quarterback. Does that mean at the end of the season he will have demonstrated that he was and is the best? No. I mean, we've got 12 regular season games to hash that out. But I do believe, based on what he showed us this past year, he certainly has the greatest upside. He's already got the NFL buzzing about where he would be drafted on day one should he come out after this next season. There are also NFL proponents that are saying that he needs to wait until 27 to have yet an additional year of maturing because of what? The unmeasured potential that this talent has. So when you bring all that back down and distill it into something that you can drink and enjoy, it is the wonderful world of LaNorris Sellers and the highlights that he will bring.
Yeah, you brought up Arch Manning about that. And, a lot of people argue that Arch is the best. Would you be arguing that if it was, hey, there's a 5-star quarterback starting at Texas next year for the first time, and his last name is not Manning? Would it be the same, or is everybody saying that because everybody is hopeful that he's going to live up to his last name? Now, I hope he does. I mean, I'm pulling for Arch. I mean, I think he's a good young man from what I could tell. He's making his own way out there. He can't help it that his last name is Manning. That's not his problem, but they wouldn't be saying that if his last name was not Manning. It carries a lot of weight.
I completely agree. And I want to say this, and we've talked about it from one viewpoint, okay, in terms of the starts that he got last year, that they were glorified high school teams or Mississippi State, however you want to go with that. He played Division I football and was the starting quarterback for 3 games. He came in other moments in other games, and it's not like he was wide-eyed, ready to cry and curl up in the fetal position when he had the Georgia defensive line staring him down across his O-line. Like, this kid's good. I don't want anybody to misunderstand that. But I do completely agree. If it was any other quarterback that did not have the absolute legacy lineage that Arch has, it wouldn't be the same conversation. It wouldn't be something that you look past LaNorris Sellers toward Arch Manning. It would be these two great quarterbacks. And one of the things that LaNorris has that Arch doesn't is a full season of showing it.
That's
It
right.
wasn't that LaNorris came in as the starter last year at South Carolina and did some good things, showed that he's got some potential, right? Which, as a Carolina fan, I can tell you that's happened to us a lot through the years, where we'd get a young man in here and think, well, he's going to be the greatest thing since the Heisman Trophy. And I mean, he was good, but
Mm-hmm.
nothing special happened. Not with LaNorris.
9-3.
9-3. And more importantly to me, the size, the arm, the speed that he has at that position, the ability to get out of a tackle, not just a tight spot, a tackle. And he did it several times through the year as Clemson, that LaNorris has shown, I can do this, and I can do this, and I can do this, and I can do them all very well, that Arch just hasn't shown yet. So there's an imbalance in that conversation. But yeah, I have no problem putting my check mark beside LaNorris Sellers for the best upside going into this season. I think he's going to be a great quarterback. Depending on what Arch does at Texas, does he take him to a championship? I don't know. I mean, all that remains to be said, and it'll be proven with accolades and championships, right? But going
Mm-hmm.
into the year, yeah, my money's on LaNorris.
Yeah, I agree. And I think, I'll say this real quick about LaNorris Sellers. You talk about his size and his arm strength and all these other things, which I think is great. There's no doubt about that. But I think his quarterback IQ is really high, and it's very, very impressive. And I think, I mean, he's going to have a great season this year and we'll get into Carolina's season in a couple of weeks. There's no doubt about that. But he's going to have a great season. But his quarterback IQ is pretty top notch, man. He's an impressive kid. There's no doubt.